Let's start the show. Ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 586. Ugh, ugh. See, your Ugger's not broken anymore.
No, that was just too early.
So there was a live episode last episode. I don't know. We had some people actually listen, but we gave you zero notice because we were just testing the waters.
Yeah.
You know, we just wanted to know how it would go. And
by the way, she gave me zero notice. I showed up and she's like, guess what? Guess what we're doing today? I'm like, wait, what?
well, yes, because I didn't know if it was going to happen. That's why I didn't tell you because,
no, I'm kind of glad you didn't.
Here's the thing. Last night, this was just an idea that I had, not that like literally the day before. And I said, hey, I think we should go live. I want to try it. You know, it's Labor Day weekend. No one's really listening to podcasts. Everybody's traveling or barbecuing or whatever. So let's try it. Let's do an experiment. He goes, okay. So we're sitting on our deck the night before we decided to do this. And he goes, we're live on Facebook right now. And I said, we are? He goes, yeah, look. And I'm like, no, I don't want anyone. No.
Don't do that to me ever.
What are you doing? He goes, well, no. And it was like super dark. You couldn't see anything. And he goes, you do it. Well, I'm like, I don't think I can go live on Facebook. And
why?
He goes, why? And I said, well, I'm pretty sure that I'm on restriction.
What did you do? Comment on something?
So before the live episode, Daryl and I recapped Arizona.
Right.
I had discussed it there where I keep getting flagged for content.
Why?
On the Ugly Truth site. Well, I had posted a video, and this is when I knew someone was fucking with me.
Oh, somebody was like reporting you?
I'm pretty sure. And I said on that episode, and I still mean it, when I find out who's fucking with me, I will find out. And then you will pay.
Don't they have some, isn't there some consequences for people who repeatedly report for no reason?
Probably. So anyway, I got flagged for content twice. And so then
Was it the show or what you were posting?
No, it
like
was,
when your TikToks
it was
and stuff?
it was TikToks. The one that got me flagged and put on restriction was benign. There was nothing at all. It was a picture. It was a video of an old cat. Like what? It was nothing. It was literally like this weird video that I thought was really funny. And it was this old senior cat. That's it. Whatever. And it got flagged for violence and graphic something. It was like literally like war crime shit. And I'm like, what? This is a cat. I don't get it.
Dumb.
So
God, how do we have enemies?
So here's the thing, Stephanie. I tried a million times to contest the restriction because I'm like, I don't do anything.
Right.
And they're like, no. Good day.
Good day, sir.
I can't even like contest it.
You stole fizzy lifting drinks.
Good day, sir.
They have to be washed and sanitized.
Yes. And
you get nothing.
So I was so furious. And you know, there's nothing like not being able to defend yourself.
Oh, I know.
It's so difficult.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't care who you are.
I don't think I've ever been in Facebook jail. I think I got warned.
I got in Facebook jail for daring to say that I would rather slit my throat than eat goat cheese.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I called somebody like stupid or something. I can't remember. And I was
someone
they're like, you can't bully. You know, I'm like,
someone flagged you and said,
they were a moron.
This person's being mean.
Oh, God.
So I'm just so livid. So anyway, he goes, you can't. So I set it up. I go, fine, look. And so then it says, this person can't go live. And I was like, look. And so I showed him my account on the profile. And he goes, holy shit, there's a lot of red on there. And I go, yeah. Because apparently I'm public enemy number 1.
What the fuck?
It's so fucking dumb. So I can't do anything for like 2 months.
Oh my God, that would infuriate me.
Stephanie, I don't know who the fuck did it, but I swear to God, I will track them down.
Whoever you are, you petty piece of shit.
Why are you even fucking listening?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
God.
Well, it's the same idiots who do it online on like a multitude of things. Mm-hmm. You know, they write about. I'm like, look, if you hate it so bad, then
just go away.
Yeah, Kardashian posts. Half of the people who comment on those are
they're
like,
bitching.
We don't care.
You care enough.
We make these people go away. I'm like, why are you on here?
Like, how do you even know it exists?
Exactly. You just like wait for the next thing so you can get on here and post about how much you hate them. I'm like,
well, as I've said, now it's my mantra. Your biggest fan is your biggest enemy.
Agreed.
They know everything. You live rent free in their head. And you know that gives me pleasure.
Yeah, indeed.
It does give
We've
me
said that
pleasure.
before. You know,
It
I'm like, I
does.
know we have people who either listen or follow us on social media who literally hate us.
And you know what? Hello.
Yeah, and you're nobody if you're not hated by someone.
Well, and you know what is even funnier is that I don't even care. I don't give them the time. And
Right.
so, like, my daughter called me the other day and she's like, Mom, you're never going to believe what so-and-so did. I'm like, who's that? She goes, Mom, I lived with her for 3 years. And I'm like, oh, I don't even remember her name. And she's like, you don't remember her name? And I'm like, I don't.
That's how unimportant
I
this person
literally
is.
don't care. And what makes me madder than anything is when I have to be reminded that someone exists that I don't like. And I'm
You're
like,
like, oh, that's
who is
right.
that? Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Why am I being reminded? What did they do or what didn't they do?
Right.
Usually is what it is. Anyway,
Or they're just extra annoying.
God.
I will pass people in traffic and people are like, what's the point? Oh, you got a whole car ahead. I'm like, well, I don't have to be behind you anymore. And that's all that matters.
You know what? And those are the people I hate the most.
Yeah, I'm not doing it because I'm one of those people that thinks that that extra second is going to get me where I'm going.
No.
I'm doing it because driving behind you is literally like somebody slicing my eyeballs off.
I said that
It's the worst.
when we road tripped back and forth.
Oh, God. That's probably why I hate road trips.
Maybe because
Idiots on the road.
It was quite flawless, actually. We didn't have any
control them.
issues, luckily. But Daryl knows when I start to lose it because I'll be like, this person shouldn't be existing on this planet. Get around them. And I'm starting to like demand, like, get around. He's like, well, we really can't go anywhere. I'm like, make it work. I hate this person. They don't belong. Get out. You know, and I asked the girls, I'm like, do I have road rage? Like, 100%. I'm like, I do. They're like, yes.
My son, I asked him the other day, I said, because I'm so sick of walking in his bedroom and him immediately muting. It's like it's like a trigger.
I hate that too.
He knows I'm coming, and so he'll hear my footsteps, and he's either already muted by the time I come in there, or I see that little finger click it when I walk in, and I'm like,
you got to wear socks. You got to slip in there.
I do. I stealth all the time. Where I'm like,
Good.
just, and it's
a
not
ninja.
Yeah, it's not because he's
not doing anything bad.
No, he doesn't. It's not because he doesn't want me to hear. He doesn't want them to hear me. Oh. So I said, what is it that you tell your friends about your mom? He goes, I tell them that you're mean. I go, why? He goes, because you are. I go,
You're like, I am not a banshee.
I am not. I go, I am not mean. He goes, yes, you are. All you do is yell at me every single day. You yell.
I'm like, well, then stop doing things that make me yell.
Yeah, I go, do you tell your friends, and I'm not going to reveal it on the show, but the things that he does to get yelled at are bad, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you tell them this, this, and this? He goes, well, no. I go, of course you don't.
It's all one-sided.
They just think that I'm yelling for no particular reason, but if they knew while I was yelling, then they would be like, Chef, my God.
Yeah.
He goes, well, how about this? He goes, instead of yelling, he's like, why don't you just shout? I go,
What's the difference?
That's what I said. I go, what's the difference between shouting and yelling? He goes, yelling's like, ah. He goes, shouting's like, ah. That's what he did.
Okay. So he's demanding gentle parenting.
He was basically like not disputing the fact that the things I was yelling about were legit.
It's justified, mother, but please lower your voice.
But just don't yell. About it.
How about if I just rip my throat out? How would you like that? Do you remember back in the 80s when it was a really normal thing to remove dogs' voice boxes?
Ew.
Do you remember that?
No.
I had so many people.
Oh my God, that's awful.
I had so many friends who removed the dog's voice box because they barked all the time.
Oh my God.
And that was the thing. It was back in the day when declawing cats was okay.
That I remember.
Right? It was the same thing. I remember a friend, we were best friends for years. Her parents removed the voice box from their dog's mouth, whatever. Just removed the voice box.
Horrible.
So when the dog barked, it was like, oh, it was like this weird, because it didn't have a voice box anymore.
That's sad.
And it muted the sound of their bark.
Right.
And I'm like, how inconvenienced must you be to literally rip a voice box out of one's dog
I can't.
to continue having it?
I can't.
Instead of, training it, maybe.
Most dogs, will bark incessantly out of anxiety or neglect.
Well, like the dog was an indoor dog. Mm-hmm. And whenever the doorbell rang or the phone rang, it would bark. Mm-hmm. And so that was inconvenient. Well, so they removed its voice box. But it was not uncommon. That's the thing. I mean, haven't you, people would have labs and they would like bark in silence. It was very common back in the 70s.
I'm glad I don't
and 80s.
remember that because that's disturbing to me. But
Well, now, that's the thing about life is that, back then you just kind of accepted it and you're like, well, this
we
is what
evolved.
people do.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the vets who did it. Did they not have any moral problem with it? Or it was
Apparently
just what
not.
they did? It was a service that was offered like anything else.
Well, how many vets declawed cats? They literally amputated cats' hands.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
No.
It's like, my child won't stop pulling my hair. Can you cut off her fingers?
Right?
Like, seriously, that's exactly what they were doing with
No.
cats. It's unbelievable. And now people go, now I'm one of those people to some degree where I'll be like, there was a time in the Little House on the Prairie days where dogs ate whatever we gave them and they seemed to thrive.
Yeah, that's true.
They still only live 12 to 15 years, just like they do today.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. We would give them leftover rabbit or they'd eat grass
Or whatever. Yeah.
And now it's just like, oh, I only feed Rover whole
Grain-free.
food, grain-free. He has allergies.
I know.
So we only give him this and that. And I'm just like, if you want to, fine.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Yeah.
They didn't have
Our dogs ate, Jesus, I mean, it was like, God.
Alpo.
I know,
We
right?
ate Alpo.
Alamo.
That yellow
It
bag.
was the yellow bag.
And then it had
must have been the cheapest shit alive.
it literally looked like red Cheerios.
It was,
remember?
yeah.
Who was it that ate
I
it?
did.
I just wanted you to say it.
I'm pretty sure Paula ate it too.
I think we made her eat it.
Probably. No, I
Put water in it. It's really good.
I think I remember because she was a
activates
baby.
the gravy.
She was a baby, and I have some kind of vision of walking out to the garage and seeing her sitting there with a mouthful of dog food.
Why did we do that?
Jamie,
What's wrong with
we were
us?
feral.
We were feral.
We weren't like normal children. I
know. Is it because we grew up in the 80s?
Probably part
or was
of it.
We've said it many times that children of the 80s were not supervised.
No, we weren't
None of us.
supervised. We had trauma and
All
we
of
had
us.
dysfunction. And so I think it was a combination of all of the above.
I agree.
And we
So
happen to be intelligent human beings.
we were we used to be smart.
Right.
We're not anymore.
Well, we've
No,
killed
we
a lot
are.
of our brain cells with alcohol and other substances. But
We all cope with our trauma in other ways.
not judging.
No judgment.
Your husband was just in here with whiskey and you were like, oh, it's 12 o'clock.
I know. I'm like, you're drinking whiskey? I am.
He's like, uh-huh.
I didn't realize it was so difficult to be around us when we're doing our show. I don't care what he says. He was nervous.
Really?
Oh, yes. He was nervous. This was last week when we were doing the live show. He was nervous that he was going to fuck up because I threatened his life.
Oh.
And I said, number one, if even one frame
Of camera
is on my body, I will leave
dead.
You will not be going to London.
Death.
Number two, I said, if anything fucks up, it's on you. Anything. Now, I don't normally lay down the hammer with him.
No.
We're very equal partnered.
Yeah, for sure.
But he can overthink stuff. It was flawless, I think.
It was fine, especially
went
for our
wonderful.
first time.
And I'm so grateful because if anything happened to him, the show is over. We're doing it again.
I know, right?
I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not gonna be this.
We had to have him in here. I found it kind of comforting that he was here.
I like that he's in here personally.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was like, okay, so if something does go wrong, it's
He's
not
here.
up to me and you to try
No.
to figure it out while we're live.
Except when he left us alone.
Why did he do that?
I'm like, okay, we're done. Hello.
He's like, they're never going to stop talking.
Yeah, that's probably what he
It's
thought.
totally fine for
Just
me to
like,
leave.
hello, anyone? We're in the mall, locked out.
So,
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so really quick, I know how busy you've been. I know that you've had some stuff going on. I know your little son has been ill.
always.
Have you been watching anything on television?
Well, I do watch my same.
I know you're watching The Real Housewives. You're struggling through The Real Housewives.
It's the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Of Beverly Hills, that's
And,
current,
Yeah,
yes.
it is at least
It's a
halfway
slog,
through this-
right?
No.
I've heard it's been a slog.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot. This is the one, Erica Girardi.
Yes.
She's in the news constantly for her husband's
His
lawsuits.
shenanigans.
Yeah. So, but the rest of the cast is pretty much some kind of actress,
Right.
So sometimes I struggle with the inauthentic.
Because they're
part of it.
acting.
Totally.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'm like hyper aware of the amount of production that it takes to put on these kind of shows.
Yeah.
And so it really takes away from I'm like, how do you sit here and have a conversation about an eating disorder with a sound guy, a camera guy, producers, all these people that are literally surrounding you, and you're trying to be like, look into each other's eyes and be like, well, I've had this issue for a long time.
Because they're actors.
Exactly.
So how authentic is it?
Not very.
I understand.
But there are, but I guess what keeps me hanging on is
there are moments.
There are moments.
Glimmers.
There are glimmers.
Real.
And some of them, that's the thing about the more seasoned housewives is they have learned that the authenticity of the show is what draws people in and keeps them watching.
It's not the story plot. It's not the plot
It's
lines.
not. It's not making something up to be interesting or having the perfect cry or anything like that.
Perfect
so
fight.
Once they figure that out, then they kind of like, you know what? I am just going to let it go. And I'm just going to be who I am. Yes. And that's what they like anyway.
I don't know why I stopped watching.
They have to be vulnerable, You know
what? I stopped watching when Brandy Glanville.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The hot mess bullshit.
Yeah, that's when I actually stopped. I was like, you know what? She's a lot for me.
She's too much for me.
And, initially I liked her. But then after a while, I'm like, okay, she's the quote unquote villain. And she's going to be the one causing all this, causing all this shit stirring and all that stuff. Totally understand that everybody's got to have it. But I'm like, ugh. And actually, the OC is the one that I really was obsessed with. But those women got old.
They did. And now they're bringing them back. They're bringing Tamra Judge back.
Get over it.
Yeah. I mean, so I
you know what they are? They're the Tom Brady of the Real 100%. Housewives franchises. It's like, enough with these women.
Totally.
Go away.
I know.
And you know what? I'm sure they're perfectly fine in real life.
Oh,
like, I'm not saying they're assholes.
No, they're lovely.
But it's like, enough.
Well, I mean, and it just gets boring after a while. They're all grandmothers now and stuff, and it's like, okay, why don't you just call us the Real Housewives, the real grandmas of Orange County,
the old ladies of the OC? Like, what are we doing? The OG of the OC? Yeah, no shit. Go away.
What we like about the franchise, I should say, what I like about the franchise as a fan is the new, young, relevant money of these places, and the mix of their being not relatable, because they're obviously not relatable in the money sense to most people, but just being human. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people have this stigma about, oh God, they're so rich, blah, blah, blah. I've known a shit ton of rich people.
Yeah. They're not
Some of them
rich.
are total fucking assholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of them have zero class.
I'm just over it. And I mean, if you can't get a new crop of 30 somethings, then what are we doing?
Yeah. So Crystal Minkoff, she's married to Rob Minkoff.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, Mink. Oh,
Mink.
yeah.
I said Mink.
Last week you said Mink. I'm like, oh, wow, they are rich.
I forgot. Well, she's a descendant of Confucius.
So wait, was she on that other show on Netflix about the really incredibly wealthy Chinese families in LA?
I don't know. She might be.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look.
Her name's Crystal, and she's stunning, gorgeous. So she has been rich her whole life, right? So she met Rob, and he's filthy
hit it
rich.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they are quite interesting.
Okay.
Because they're kind of normal.
Well, on that note, I binge watched the Indian Matchmaking.
Oh God.
On Netflix, season 2.
Somebody else at work watches that show, so it must be good.
I binged it. And well, season 1 was so compelling.
Yeah.
And then season 2, it's starting to feel like the Real Housewives.
I hate it when that
happens. I'm like, why are we
happens.
doing this? Like, why are we doing this? It's like, it's obviously not real. I mean, I don't know, man. I was a little disappointed. And then the teaser after it ended. And first of all, no one's been married. No one's got married.
See, that's what I don't like about these shows.
Now, season 1, she was in India, and there was only one American woman here who was of Indian descent who wanted to meet her husband. But most of the season 1 was in India. And so there was, the big thing was they agreed to the match, went through the whole process. Their family gave the bride to be jewels and gifts because that's part of the culture. Right. And then somewhere off camera, they decided to not have the wedding. And it was something scandalous. But we don't know what it is. No one says anything. They're like, we move on. And I'm like, okay, well, can we get some real dirt here?
Right.
Or what are we doing?
We're invested. Hello.
So now season 2 is all United States.
Oh, okay.
And
it was probably a cultural mismatch. Some of those cultures you cannot marry outside your culture.
Well, these are Indian. These are all, everyone's Indian. There is no white people.
Oh, okay.
No, it's all, this is it. But it's like, none of the matches work. Everybody's like, oh, I met somebody. I was just so open to, meeting someone now. I met her through my sister. And I'm like, then what the fuck is this show?
Because they're wanting to go on a show.
Nobody has a match. Right. No one's getting married.
Yeah.
It's nothing. And these women, these broken women who think that they want a matchmaker to find them someone, refuse to break their old habits. So this one girl, she's like, there's this perfectly lovely man, age appropriate, very wealthy, very educated, all the things. And she's stunning, by the way. She falls for a 26-year-old who has no interest, and he breaks up with her after he's flown across the country to tell her he's not interested. Dumps her in LA. And I'm just like, what am I watching? So I was very disappointed. So now they're going next season 3. There's clearly going to be a season 3. It's going to be all in London.
Okay.
So I'm like, maybe we'll get back to the original thing. Because maybe the United States is just not cut out for this.
Maybe.
Because it's just like these women who are Americanized now. They're just like, oh, I want this and I want that. And they're just like, this one bitch. Oh my God. She's like, she just is so entitled. And, I'm like, have you looked in the mirror, honey? Like, what are you doing? You can't be like this. And men do find her attractive. She's very successful, but Stephanie yawned on every date she went on. Oh, literally turned and yawned, and the men are like, "Are you exhausted?" She goes, "I haven't slept in 2 days. I'm so tired." And I'm like, "Wow, what are you doing?
Right.
This guy is gorgeous, and he's in love with you. What are you doing?"
She's an idiot.
I'm like, what? How much? This guy flew halfway across the country to see you twice, and you're yawning? If I'd seen that, I'd be like, dude, run. What is happening?
Yeah.
Anyway, I love it.
You know what's funny is I binged, I hadn't watched Sister Wives last season.
Are you current?
Well, I didn't watch the whole. It's a very long season.
I didn't watch much.
So, the new season's getting ready to come out, and so I can always tell when the new season's getting ready to come out because I do have it set on my DVR, and all of a sudden episodes started showing up. So I was like, oh, did the new season already? So I looked and I was like, oh no, these are they're recapping from last year. So I watched probably the last 4 episodes.
Okay.
Including the one-on-one that they did with the interviewer, where they each, did you watch any of that?
I've seen 80%.
Okay. So I didn't really know how it all went down with Christine. I knew she was gone and I knew all of that, but I didn't know exactly what happened. And I thought I didn't care until I watched it.
Yeah, you care. Trust. You get emotional. You get emotionally involved and you're like, what the fuck?
I couldn't hate him anymore.
Oh my God. He's so bad.
I honestly,
People Magazine did a profile on her last week or a couple weeks ago.
Good.
A full spread.
I didn't see it.
In the Princess Diana episode, the Princess Diana edition.
She is, I'm so happy for her.
Dude, there is no one happier.
I'm telling you.
And I've said this, and there's a subreddit that's quite popular with Sister Wives.
Oh, okay.
And I'm very active in it.
Oh, sweet.
And all I ever say, because sometimes they get a little too obsessed.
Oh, yeah.
Some people get a little too
obsessed. We know these people personally.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you don't.
I'm like, stop talking shit about their kids and stuff. Can we just? But I said, listen, man, this woman is truly free from a cult.
She is.
That is the difference you're seeing between her and Mary and Janelle and Robin.
Yeah.
They are still living the cult life.
Yeah.
Even if they're not actively in a church, they're still living the cult life.
Well, Janelle claims that she still has sex with Cody.
I believe it.
Mary does not.
No.
So he's only having sex with Janelle and Robin.
Yes, but with
Janelle, it's probably hardly ever.
I think it's minimal, and I think he throws her a bone, literally, occasionally. But because
she's like, no. Yeah.
Here's what I hate to say. And it's true, but I still hate to say it because she's so unlikable.
Who, Janelle?
No, Robin.
Oh, Robin. I know.
Here's the deal. Cody fell in love for the first time in his life.
I don't know if that's 100% true.
I do.
I know you think that.
I know.
We've talked about this. Yeah.
He fell in love with her. And he's like, oh, this is what it feels like. Because when you have thought you had fallen in love a million times and then you really fall in love with somebody, you go, oh.
Like, I don't want to have sex with other people.
I had no idea this is what love is supposed to be. And then once you have that, you will do anything to keep it and you won't let it go.
Right.
Forever.
Yeah.
Robin is horrible. I'm not a fan. She's manipulative. And she played all the games a polygamy wife plays to get to the top station, and she quickly ascended because these other bitches weren't playing the game.
Right.
They were just coping with 100 children.
Right. Totally.
So Robin's just like, oh, it's me, my kids. And Cody's like, holy shit, I'm in love with you too. And I don't think Robin is in love with Cody as much as he's in love with her.
I don't think, well, there's always one person who loves the other one more.
Of course.
We've talked about that. But
Yes.
after watching the, what do they call them? When your confessionals.
The tell-alls. Or they call them talking heads or
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Yes.
After watching all of those, and they did recap a lot of the history of how they all got married and everything, and the timeline, which they hadn't really done. We kind of knew, but it really put it in perspective for me about how quickly the other wives came in, from Mary to Christine, or to Janelle to Christine to Robin. And I think the reason why he gravitates towards Robin so much is because she literally does anything he says.
Oh, she completely plays into his ego.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
She's compliant. She agrees with everything he says. There's nothing she pushes back on. She tries to pretend she does. She's like, oh, believe me, behind closed doors, I say. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you fucking don't. Because Christine was Robin.
That's
Christine was Robin for a long time. And when
she did everything.
And when she finally got sick of it and was like, look, I want some kind of say in my life, and I'm not just going to raise kids and like be your yes woman.
Yes.
He was like, fuck you.
I know.
And that's when they got Robin. So he would have been perfectly happy with Christine being the younger one that he had a lot of sex with and everything else, but she didn't comply.
Yeah, because women grow up.
Exactly. And she said that.
Yeah,
she's
women
like,
change. They
she's
mature.
like, yeah. She goes, because they mature. So yes. So I think that's more of what it is. I don't know that Cody loves anybody more than he loves himself.
100%.
So.
And what was really what I did like, speaking of how, it's very scripted, the Beverly Hills and the OCs of the world, those are really scripted. A lot of people claim that Sister Wives is very scripted. I don't think it's very scripted. I think what's scripted is they throw them in plots and they go, okay,
right,
we're gonna.
This is what we're shooting today.
This is what we're really going to focus on today. Right. We're going to focus on the fact that everybody's in lockdown, or that someone's getting married.
And by the way, he's a fucking crack job on the whole pandemic thing.
He's a full nut job. In fact, and he's not even vaccinated. Like, he was so
That's
terrified.
what I was curious. They never talked about it in the all the episodes. And I'm like, are these people not vaccinated?
No.
What the hell?
They're incredibly conservative.
Oh my God. Okay.
And he's the most conservative of them
He is a
all.
dick. And I can't stand him.
There's actually proof of how conservative he is. Anyway, so yeah, she, in an interview with People, said that the final straw, and when she decided she no longer was going to be in a marriage with Cody, was when he refused to go to Isabel's surgery in New Jersey.
That was one of them. And then he also told her they were never having sex again.
Yes.
And she's like, she said, so you can have sex with multiple wives.
But I'm just supposed to be
But this is it for me. He's like, I'm not attracted to you anymore.
Yeah, disgusting pig.
Yeah.
So, but she said when she knew that she wasn't going to fight because he's always telling her, put the family first and then I'll think about it. It's such a dick move.
It is.
When he said, I'm not going with you to Isabel's surgery, she's like, I knew that it was over.
Yeah.
Because, and what was so
great. He didn't even care enough to go to a life-threatening
daughter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, when I knew that because she's like, I also knew I didn't need him to go, but I knew that my daughter needed him to go. Right. And when he said he wasn't, it was like, done.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with a woman's child.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah. He made them all choose. And that's his excuse.
And Janelle wouldn't do it either, by the way.
No, she wouldn't. And that's why he uses that. He's one of those guys. Yep. He's literally an abuser who blames their wives for his behavior.
Yes.
It's like, look, you made me hit you. If you wouldn't have done this, I wouldn't have done that.
He says
everything.
And he doesn't hear how verbally abusive
he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
He's like, you're not feeding my ego. You're not doing what I want you to do. Fuck you.
That's why we're in polygamy, remember?
Right.
Yeah. And Mary, I don't even know what to say about her.
She's just pathetic.
I don't even know what that is. She's like a broken puppy.
That was why with the confessionals on the last season, I saw her go from, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't think I want to do this anymore. To like, I'm here. I'm not leaving. I'm committed. I don't know.
A lot of people think it's the money in the show.
It could be.
Because the show is what provides her with a fan base to do her fucking MLM shit.
Totally.
So whatever.
Yeah. And she's a martyr. A lot of people feel sorry for her.
I don't feel sorry for her.
I don't either. I do not either. But many people do.
And not to mention, she's really gone through it with her daughter. Well,
Agreed.
I'm sorry, not daughter anymore. I apologize for
Oh,
that.
okay. I didn't know she changed genders.
They, them, I believe.
Okay.
And they're transitioning, and so it's a touchy subject for me.
Yeah.
And it's not that lifestyle or that thing. It
Right.
is that Leo is now the name, has gone through quite a transition many times.
Yeah, she has.
They.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Yes.
it's
You know
they.
what? Well, I see. I haven't watched any of that, so I didn't even know
because
that was happening.
It's not on the show.
Okay,
This is
okay.
all social media.
Okay.
They.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I'm very, very tolerant, and I'm very
same.
okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
Yeah.
it. But they are an asshole. Just because they are no longer a she or whatever,
Doesn't
they
give you
are
the right-
still an entitled fucking asshole.
Right.
And treat their mother like garbage.
They do.
And I hate
They
it.
blame. You know what? All of those kids have anger issues towards the moms because I don't blame them. They just have no respect for these women.
Why would they?
No, because they've never been respectable, and
Ever.
their dad has treated them like milking cows.
I mean,
and
thankfully, Christine is starting to recognize, and her daughters are celebrating this.
well, I'm so happy that she, aside from all of this other stuff, I feel like I'm glad that she's decided that she has value. She has, and she does.
And she said she wants to date. She
She
said
should.
that she's like, I'm looking forward to being someone's one and only. I'm looking forward to the intimacy. And I'm
she
like,
deserves
bitch
all
needs
of
to
that.
get laid.
Well, I mean, and the thing is she
Like,
hasn't
yes.
she hasn't abandoned her faith. She says she's not part of the church anymore.
She's not, but she's still spiritual.
But she's spiritual and she still believes in God. That doesn't
course.
ever really go away. I don't think no matter who
some
you
people,
are.
but I mean, it depends on how you've been burned.
That's true. But for her, so she can still have that part of her life
course.
that she enjoys.
Yes.
But I think once she, so she's not going to go out and be a whore or anything is what I'm saying.
No, she's not going to go through the
I don't
things we
see
all
her
go
going,
through.
no, I don't see that
I
happening.
remember my 20s,
But
the
that's
hoe
okay.
phase.
That's okay. The one benefit for her is that the show does bring exposure.
Yes.
Do you know how many men have been watching her who are now that she's single, they're just waiting.
in Utah.
Yeah. And they're
Some
like,
cowboy.
oh, God.
Cowboy,
So hopefully some rich guy who will come and
away.
sweep her off her feet and really love her.
I would
and
love to see her.
She's
with
going to become
some-
angry at when that happens because she's going to be like, I wasted so much fucking time.
She did. I envision her with some rugged
Yeah.
ranch owner
I don't know what is
in
her type.
Utah.
Yeah.
Well, no one knows.
No one
She
knows.
doesn't even know.
Yeah,
she
that's what I'm
doesn't even know
saying.
what she wants. But in Utah, I mean, some landowner with a ranch with some animals where she can run free.
Yeah.
And
Do whatever
just
she wants.
do whatever she wants. Get a dog, because she's.
I mean,
Cody hated dogs.
did he?
Yeah, so she can get it. She can get multiple dogs,
Yeah.
and she can have animals.
Well,
and
and she's
just,
still raising kids.
truly.
Truly. And
Truly's
so-
the only one left, and she's in 7th grade.
Yeah. So she's got a little.
She's got a few
Time.
years to go, but that
that's-
doesn't matter.
And that's a good thing, I think.
Although Truly has told her she's not ready for her mom to date, so she's respected that.
And I don't blame her. As
No, it's-
somebody who got divorced, and
There's a lot of trauma.
yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And if you're starting a new life after you've been living this completely opposite life for all those years, that there should be a transition.
100%.
Yeah.
I do miss that she won't have her hoe phase. We all have. We should all have that, but that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, and then we're watching She-Hulk.
Oh my God. Okay.
Are you not watching it?
No.
Oh my God, Jeff would love it. It's so good.
You underestimate Jeff.
What? It's really fun. It's Marvel. It's got
He
the Hulk in it.
Only watches Spider-Man.
Oh, he doesn't do
Nope.
Marvel? Oh,
Not
my
at all.
Goodness.
I've tried.
Then he would like the Sandman. Oh, then
Maybe.
it's too adult. Actually, there's a lot of killing and stuff.
He I'm telling you,
Never mind.
he is a Spider-Man purist.
Speaking of, do you remember when our dad, because our mom was not into advanced technology really.
No, Dad has always been.
Dad has always been about it. So we got all of our Ataris, all of our
Betamax.
Nintendos, all that stuff. Do you remember the
Stereos.
first video that that we each got to pick our own VHS tape to rent at a video store?
I do. Wasn't it a beta? Because Dad bought a beta first, and then a year later we bought a VHS.
Bought the VHS. Well, I remember my first VHS rental.
What was it?
Clash of the Titans.
I do remember that. I was like, God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Clash of the Titans. And I almost can smell
Harry Hamlin.
and that owl
Oh, the owl.
and the girl and the Kraken.
Oh my God, yes.
It was, first of all, it's still
Medusa.
it's still one of my favorite movies.
That Medusa was scary as shit.
Scary as shit, right?
Yeah, Totally.
And I'm like, I want to be a Medusa.
Oh, the Kraken was scary too.
The Kraken was scary.
Not as scary. I think it was the whole coming off of the ocean floor. And
it was like 10 stories high.
Yeah, it was
and he was
scary.
just going to grab this tiny creature and eat it or something. I don't even know what he was going to do with her.
Yeah, it was
a bit sexual, to be fair.
Well, that's why Harry Hamlin, he really made a name for himself in that movie.
Yes.
Because he was
cute.
What's that guy's name?
Harry Hamlin?
Well, no, not the character.
Oh,
I was going to say
Hercules.
Zeus. Hercules, I think that's what it is.
Wait, was he Hercules?
Or Andromedas? I don't remember.
Oh my God.
We're stupid.
Who killed Medusa? We just
He did.
We know. I know, but we need to know our mythology. We don't remember our mythology. I used to know all of that stuff. I was so into Greek mythology.
That's true, you were.
So into it. And I think Mom was very uncomfortable with it.
Yes, she was.
She's like, that's not real. And I'm like, well, what is? I don't know.
Well, I mean, and even if it's not real, it's still fun.
It's super cool. I love all that shit. And I love astrology.
And by
Not
the way,
astrology, I mean astronomy.
The people back in those days that invented all that stuff and everything, they thought it was real.
They really did.
So it is important historically.
I liked it. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Harry Hamlin.
Can't remember yours?
God. Dang.
Was it a cartoon?
God, Jamie, it was so long ago.
I don't know.
Harry Hamlin, coincidentally, is married to Lisa Rinna.
Yes.
And she is a Real Housewife.
And it's all come full circle.
That's why. Well, so the funny thing is, part of her shtick on the show now is Harry Hamlin. Yeah. He makes cameos constantly on the show, and people love it.
He's aged well.
He's gorgeous.
He's aged well.
Yeah. He still acts. He's still in, like, he's got a sitcom right now.
Do you know who else has aged well? Is
all men age well. No, not all.
That's not.
They get to a certain point. Netflix is just so the first of every month, Netflix wipes out a bunch of movies that they've been carrying, and then they replenish. And one of the new ones that they just, because it's the beginning of September,
sure,
is The Bridges of Madison County. And how good Clint Eastwood looks in that movie. I have to remind myself how old that movie is.
It's very old.
Because he does not look like that right now.
I don't think. No.
Now, granted, the man is like 92.
Is he really?
Oh my God, he's so old.
Wow.
I keep waiting any day for my news feed to say Clint Eastwood dead at 92.
Do you know who has aged shockingly well?
Who?
Robert Redford.
Is he still alive?
Yes.
Oh my God.
He was my favorite. He's forever.
I think he is so fine. Oh my God.
I liked him way better than Paul Newman. I think there was a camp. There was a time. Remember back when we were younger and it was Brad Pitt or George Clooney forever?
Not to me, but
it was always Brad Pitt.
I never liked George Clooney.
George Clooney just looks like he has dandruff.
He looks like he has too much hair.
I just don't like that he has like dandruff.
I know he has. I bet you he has a hairy chest and a hairy butt.
I think he's really hairy, and I'm not into it. I know,
and it's dark hair.
Some women don't care.
No,
and that's fine.
Whatever.
I care.
Just
and
like,
First of all, I've been with hairy men. It's not my fave. I struggle.
Have I been with hairy men?
I don't like the thickets. I'm not into it. I'm not into it. And if I were to fall in love with a very hairy man, I would probably mildly suggest wax.
I mean,
and electrolysis.
The people we're talking about, these famous people, 100%, they have money to do all of that.
Oh,
right?
they're
like, waxed clean.
They look like dolphins. Yeah. For sure. They're like, this isn't my natural state. I'm in a constant state of itching.
Yes.
Because I'm itching because hair's growing constantly.
Yes. Clint Eastwood is 92 years old. Wow. He was born May 31st, 1930. Wow. So he's actually approaching 93.
Very old. Yeah. So it was funny. I was just thinking about this. I don't know why. Oh, because we had talked about Jane Fonda having cancer. Hopefully she hasn't died because we don't.
We don't know. No,
I don't think so. Anyway, no, I was thinking about one of the first movies that I remember watching as a child that I really, really loved was Barefoot in the Park.
I do love that movie.
Which is Robert Redford and Jane Fonda.
It had to grow on me.
I loved it immediately. But
I didn't actually watch it until I was in my 30s, honestly.
Really?
I didn't.
God, I love it. And it has
because I thought it would be dumb.
Her mother is the best part of that movie. It's so good.
There's so many parts of it.
All of it's good.
Yeah.
All of it. And I just remember being in love with it. And I believe it is, it's obviously based on a play.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the very famous playwright, but that playwright I love. So, I mean, and I can't think of his name right now because I'm old and can't remember things, but he's great. And that movie is such a great adaptation. No, couldn't remember a thing. I
have like the worst memory.
Oh, same.
No, your memory's really good.
Okay. This is something I was Okay,
you remembered the first VHS tape you ever rented,
I know.
and we were like You were like 8.
And how is
or
that
7.
necessary in life? Why do I need to know that?
Well, it was significant to you, obviously.
It was
You must have been
significant to me.
excited.
I was excited because I actually got to make a choice in my life for a change.
It's so ironic, isn't it, that that our abuser was the one person who actually
Gave us
provided
choices.
some joy in between trauma.
You know what? Love bombing is a real thing.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Because Dad did have way more of a free spirit, you know, I mean.
He introduced us to music, to film, to art, to video games, to
sports and car racing,
all the things.
and adrenaline things.
It's true.
Skiing. I mean,
Skiing.
God, it was a great love of ours when we were growing
love
up.
skiing.
I still do.
I'm afraid to go now.
Oh, God.
I'm afraid I'd hurt my knee.
You will hurt yourself. I would too. I mean, I went in my 20s and I thought I was going to die.
Like, this isn't for me.
I hadn't skied in 10 years. I thought I was like, oh, it's like riding a
Then
bike,
you go, like,
right?
I'm terrified.
Oh God, I couldn't breathe. I was so out of breath. It's so physical.
The last time I went on the slopes, as the youngsters say, I took a snowboarding class.
Oh, fun.
And I
Look
think
at you.
this was 15 years ago. Oh my God. And maybe longer. It was even longer, probably like 17, 18 years ago. But I just remember because Tyler was like almost a teenager. And so I took a snowboarding class. And of course, Tyler took to it immediately. And then there's me. Malia was having none of it. She was furious.
She was, why do I have to do this?
She was cold and didn't want to do anything. And so I said, so I'm doing this class. And I had the cutest instructor. And I kept falling. And I'm like, I can't do this. I don't have the core for this. I can't do it. I think I'm not... I just can't do it. And he goes, come on, little mama, you can do it. So I tried it and I did it once. I go, yay. He goes, you did it. Thanks. I'm like, lesson over. Bye. Went to the bar. I'm like, nope, I'm done. I cannot
accomplished
snowboard.
what I came here to do.
I cannot snowboard. I don't want to snowboard. I wish I could, but I cannot.
No.
But yeah, it's been, I do love the snow though. I'm not going to lie. Speaking on that note, Stephanie, I think my nose is getting bigger.
What?
I think as I get older, my nose is starting to turn into like a lump of clay.
Or maybe your face is shrinking.
I don't know, but I'm really concerned. I saw a picture. I'm like, why does my nose look like it's just like sitting on my face?
God, it doesn't.
It does. I'm telling you.
You got to do like comparison photos then.
I'm going to, and I'm going to be so upset.
Take progressive photos. Like
Honestly,
take one now, and then 3 months from now, take another one. And
I'm terrified to do it because I know I'm going to see it and go, what do I do?
You get a nose job.
No, I think you get a facelift.
Or that.
I think the skin is starting to fall forward.
Oh, maybe
on
that is that what it is?
I'm so afraid.
I don't see any of this. I'm just saying. Just because I'm discussing
You would tell me though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd be like, Jamie, your nose.
You're like, Jamie, something's going on with your nose?
Yeah,
Are you stuffy?
I don't think we're quite there yet. I think we're approaching.
I think I'm just a little over observant on my face.
You are.
Oh God, so bad. The worst thing I did was buy that magnifying mirror.
Oh God.
I'm getting you one, by the way.
Yeah.
I want you to have it.
I do want one.
I want you to come with me. Come torture yourself with me.
On this journey.
Please come and hate yourself with me.
I know, right?
Okay, I have some ugly and awkward moments of the week for you.
Okay.
I don't have music, so here. There you go. Here's the first one. This one made me laugh. I once tried to storm out of a meeting, but my jacket got caught. And someone had to help get me free.
I'm pretty sure this has happened to me.
I still think about this, and it's been 10 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's happened to me.
I've caught my loop on a door jamb.
You know what? I have these flowy arm shirts. They're wide.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And when I'm sitting at work, they're the arm thing that for your
Yes.
work chair.
It's open ended.
And so they clip up. They like go.
They sleeve themselves.
And then I go to stand up. It has happened to me so many times, and I always look around, and thank God my workmates don't pretend they don't see me. I know they do.
You're like, poor Stephanie, there she is again.
That's like the 10th time this week she's done that.
That's too bad.
When will she learn to check before she tries to rise? And I'm like, damn it.
I've caught my purse. I've caught my belt loop. I mean,
Everything.
It's just endless. And so is when you're pissed.
Oh my God. Or in a hurry.
I'd rather it rip than pull me back like that. Like I'm being rodeoed.
It's the worst.
You know what I mean?
I'm literally imagining myself. I've done this so many times.
I know.
On this chair that I'm like, oh my God.
I hate it. Here's the second one. Now, things like this have happened to me in a doctor's office. I'm the worst at a doctor's office.
Oh God,
There's
so am
nothing
I.
better or worse, actually. So this guy's at the doctor. He asked me a question along the lines of, do you have any past trauma? He was my neurologist, and I was there to discuss my seizure. He had a seizure. I said, I used to be a fentanyl addict. And he goes, no, I meant, have you ever banged your head really hard or had a concussion? Nothing like admitting to your drug addiction. Well, I used to snort fentanyl. No. Did you ever bonk your head on anything? Oh, no.
Oops. Oh, that?
No, sorry.
I would do that.
Anyway, I thought it was really funny.
That's cute.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to save the last thing for next week. But I think that's the show for this week.
It's good enough, isn't it?
It's enough, right? It's enough.
We're always enough.
It's enough, everyone. Oh, Bachelor in Paradise starts on the 27th of September, and I will be watching. I'm obsessed with Bachelor in Paradise.
Well, maybe I'll try to watch it. It's not a thing I watch.
You have to DVR it.
All right.
Because it's just rife with commercials. And there's a lot of shit you don't want to watch.
I almost don't watch anything that's not on a DVR.
I DVR everything.
So rare.
Like, for example, we DVR, I don't know if you're watching Alone Frozen.
I haven't started watching that, but I know it's there.
And we obviously watched Alone, the season finale. I did. Not surprising.
We talked about it on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Alone Frozen, we're watching it. And
so it's good then, right?
It's pretty good. And here's what's funny. So 6 people went in, 3 men, 3 women. There's only 1 man left.
No shit.
The women are still there. It's Callie and Wania, who I fucking love, both of them so very much.
Are these like people that were on the show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
These are
Callie is,
Yes, they are returners.
Okay, well that changes
it for me. And then
me.
Michelle is the other woman. And
then, Alone's getting popular, so they're starting to do spinoffs.
Do you remember Amos?
I do.
He's the only man left at this point.
Okay.
So it's, well, at the time of this recording, I should say. There will be another show before this drops. But, so it's Amos, Callie, Michelle, and Wania. Someone taps. I just don't know who it is, and I probably wouldn't spoil it at this point anyway for you because you're not really watching.
Yeah.
But anyway, I find it fascinating that all the women are sticking it out.
Yeah, well,
it's amazing.
My first thought was it's cold and we have more blubber, so maybe they're just warmer.
Well, and they're the premise of Alone Frozen is they're only there for 50 days.
Oh, so no matter what.
And if you make it to the 50 days, you get your share of a pot of 500 grand.
Okay, so however many people are left.
So the less people remain, the more money you win.
Right.
Right.
Makes sense.
So at this point, there's 4,
which
means they're getting like 125 grand each.
Well, how far into it are they?
11 days.
Oh God.
It's brutal.
Okay.
It's brutal. And the thing is, it's all trauma from the first time they participated.
Oh, good
and
Lord.
what I love is they're telling us how much they suffered physically after the show.
The first time
after their experience. All of them have dental issues. Like serious dental issues, not just kind of dental.
Well, so
like
did they
significant
because of what they
loss.
ate or because lack of hygiene,
lack of nutrition?
Oh yeah, the nutrition part.
They're like one of them, and I don't even remember who it was. She's like, I had significant dental issues. I have no enamel on my teeth anymore. It's all gone.
Wow.
Which means she's going to lose all of her teeth as she gets older. Isn't that terrifying?
Yes.
And she's out there again.
Well, I have reoccurring dreams. I don't know if you do.
Yeah, your teeth falling out has nothing to do with your hygiene.
No, not in real life. But I'm saying it's literally one of my worst fears.
It's indicative of another thing, and I can't remember what it is. Just like water equates to emotion.
Oh, okay.
Your teeth falling out has something to do with your work life or something. I can't remember.
Well, I've been having this dream for 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Shocking.
So if I ever lost all my teeth, it's like literally my worst nightmare.
Not gonna happen.
Hey, you don't know.
I'll let you know if I start seeing wiggly teeth.
Well,
like Stephanie, what's up with that front
tooth?
I'm
obsessed with them anyway because I'm like touching them and seeing if they're loose.
I know. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.